Buddha told this story and liked it very much. He talked about it as knowledge. He talked about it as a way to understand the way. A great Buddha was speaking in a mountaintop retreat, and 5 very learned men wanted to come and hear the Buddha. They crossed many mountains to get to Buddha, but finally they arrive. There is a huge river between themselves and the bottom of the mountain they must climb to go and hear the Buddha. They do not know how they're going to get across. They do not know how this is going to happen. Finally, they begin to realize they will never make it. They will drown. A sage who was sitting by the river meditating pointed out to them they had a whole forest there. They could build a small raft and move across the river via the raft. So the 5 fools build a raft. They easily go across the river. And when they get to the other side to climb the mountain, they say to themselves, we cannot just leave this raft. The raft has helped us cross the stream. This raft is our friend. So they climb the mountain in a very arduous way. And when they get to the village at the top of the mountain, the villagers all laughed and they said, why did you bring this raft? This raft is not necessary. We are in a mountain. A raft is only necessary on the river. The whole village laughed at them. The 5 fools said, this raft is a friend. It helped us. And the villagers said, well, now you suffer because of the raft. It is your bondage. Here, there is no need for a raft. The 5 fools. What are we talking about here? This is an old Zen story. The Buddha is up in the mountain. The 5 fools need to find the Buddha, get up to the mountain. They're running up and down the riverbank. Finally, a sage tries to help them, tells them to build a raft and move across the river. But what do? They not only build the raft and move across the river, but then the 5 fools take the raft up the mountain. By the time they get there, they're exhausted. 2 of them are dead. And one of the villagers looks at them and said, why'd you bring a raft up here? Don't you know a raft is useless here? This is all symbolic. There are so many metaphysical, spiritual insights in this story. I can't even begin to count them all. But one of the major ones I want you to consider this morning as you maybe look at this video is that you understand that the things that you believe in, the things that come out of your 5 senses and mind, the things that we have come to understand through our body are useless. Especially when we are working for the higher consciousness, when we are reaching or seeking to reach spiritual consciousness. This is a lofty place inside, and it doesn't belong to the wrath. It doesn't belong to the five senses. It doesn't belong to any of the things that we believe in. In the teachings that I've offered to you this year, we have been looking at what the premise means to live beyond birth and death, to live a life that is meaningful. Next year, we're going to be going into the meaning of the soul. People think they just have a soul, but they don't. Most of us do not have a soul. We don't even understand what the soul is. But we're going to be dealing with that in all of the discourses and all of the radio, TV, all of the work that I do. The commentaries, podcasts, videocasts, everything will be about the soul. If you bring your concerns, your five senses to the mat, as it were, and you look at them and think, well, I can understand what Greg is teaching if I just listen to my five senses, you will miss. There has to be a sense of earnestness on both of our parts, me as your teacher and you as the student. That earnestness has to go beyond the concepts of right and wrong, the five senses, good and bad. That earnestness has to be in the meaning of what it is to find the authentic that lives within you, and then to attain to that authentic, no matter what the price may be. You and I live in a very strange world, a world where people don't know their place. They don't live in harmony. They don't understand what harmony is. They take for granted their lives. These are just a few of the things that our five senses do to us, and just a few of the things that we do to ourselves in this earthly life. If you wish to find the higher nature that lives within you, you and I are going to have to leave that which belongs to the earth and the body on the earth and with the body, and transcend. This year has been a year of personal transcendence, not only for me, but for my students who are working very diligently, I hope, on the effort of awakening, of living beyond the five senses and finding a very interesting place within themselves that is beyond the concept of living for their body and making the world their God. It's very, very important. Aspire works very hard to serve you. I go to hospice every week. I have radio every week. You have your podcasts, your videocasts, your commentaries, the journal that I write every month for you, the discourses that are there to serve you. Everything I do to serve you, and I need your year-end donations to sustain this work. It doesn't happen without money. You gotta have money to pay the bills, to pay the electricity, to pay the internet, to pay everything that I do to serve you in the way I do. It's a very rare thing, Aspire. I hope that you will make a contribution today, a tax-deductible gift to serve humankind in the way in which it most needs to be served. Aspire is not for everyone. It is only for those of you who have, I've said for many years, who have eyes to see and ears to hear, and wish to make the heart the pathway of your entire life. Not, of course, the emotional heart, but the spiritual heart. Make a gift today. Do something really noble in your life. Contribute to something that contributes to the part of this life and this realm of living that very few people simply appreciate, but need to be introduced to the way I do it, which is through kindness, love, and tolerance, and the ability to laugh at ourselves ever so much, just to see the way we are. If you can laugh, you have found the way. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being a part of my life and the lives of everyone that I serve as you give a gift to all the people that I work with, both in the hospital, the hospice, my students, and all of the people I will never meet in the flesh who come to the website aspire.org. Please forgive me. Namaste.